Yeah, you know that one really obscure Nintendo series that was really popular in the mid-2000s and early 2010s, but barely seems to get any games now? Yeah, I know that one. Rhythm Heaven. Oh, you're thinking about something else? Oh shit. Anyways, I'm Seal, and today we're gonna be talking about Rhythm Heaven games and putting them on a tier list. After hours upon hours of thinking and playing these games, I finally found the best one. Also, I worked on this video for like 50 hours, so can you just please subscribe to me, please? I beg of you. Please feed my Uber Eats addiction. Let's start with Rhythm Tengoku. Pause. I'm announcing that I'm gonna be streaming on June 2nd, 2024. 24 hours after this video comes out. It's gonna be me beating Lucia in Wii Sports Resort, so I hope I see you there. Anyways, here's Rhythm Heaven. Alright, Rhythm Tengoku, the first in the series, released on the GBA as a Japanese-only title, which is a little bit dumb, selling 268,000 copies and releasing on August 3rd, 2006. Which I guess makes sense why it sold so poorly considering that it was released on the GBA when the DS was already out for 2 whole years, which honestly is kind of stupid, but whatever. I'm not Nintendo. But if it got ported to the DS and sent to the States, I feel like it just would have been way better and people wouldn't have got used to Rhythm Heaven's oddities. Anyway, Rhythm Tengoku is a beautiful game with amazing 16-bit art style, like from the SNES. The songs are packed with fun and challenge, except for Game Show. I swear, I will rip the host fucking demon-ass face out with a spatula. But yeah, this game is amazing and way more challenging than any other Rhythm Heaven game. In my opinion, the one that I found the most difficult besides Game Show was Trampoline, which I just couldn't understand what to do for the life of me until I searched it up, and just wanted to mention that I was playing the Rhythm Tengoku in Japanese instead of the fan translation, which I guess is kind of the reason why I feel it, but we don't talk about that. Anyways, I felt really stupid after I do that, you know, because I'm just someone who's kind of fucking dumb. But there's one game that I really do love, which is a really amazing game that I wish Nintendo want to put into other Rhythm Heavens. The Bon Orderi. I don't know how to say it. Bon Orderi? How the fuck do you say this? Is it even the right word? You know, whatever. The Bon Orderi, which is a beautiful Japanese themed, I guess it is released in Japan. Beautiful, just game. It's just amazing and I love it. Oh my, like for a GBA which has horrible sound quality, having just such a nice song in it just is like so beautiful for my ears. Just listen to this. Just, I don't know, man, like the lady on top kind of looks like Chio from Azumanga Daioh, if anyone's ever watched that show. But my favorite game, my favorite one, has to be Nightwalk. I just love how upbeat it is and just the way I played and just having this type of flow state and just vibing out and just listening and just like the instrumental is just so punchy and fun. Now, I will say this, Nightwalk was done better in other iterations like the Wii or 3DS, but we will get to that soon, alright? That's far off, alright? But there are some iconic mini games like Karate Man, which is the first minigame in all of them Heaven, or Rhythm Tweezers being the most unique, I guess, if you want to say that, very questionable minigame, and the Clappy Trio. Everyone knows the Clappy Trio. And what's crazy, all of those 3 games I just mentioned were in the first stage. Before even the first remix, we're in the first part of the game. As you can tell, this game is beaming with potential. I also adore the games just being more challenging. The difficulties are annoying sometimes, but when you get through it, you feel like you really earned it. That feeling just really reminds you of the determination I have to beat the shit out of the fucking game host. Now, there are other games in the series that have way better music, but it is understandable since it is a GBA game, so they can't add a lot of complex and grand songs. You know, they can't even put some practices for some songs because it would just be too big for the cartridges. And you know what? I'm a little bit annoyed about something, because why was it released in the GBA? That's just stupid on Nintendo's decision. Why? You had so much time to make this, and you just put it on the GBA? It's just so fucking stupid. Your other handheld was released for 2 years already. That's why it sold so fucking horribly. 268,000 copies copies on the first game. I don't even know how Nintendo still even let the series go on. I'm happy that they did, you know, thank goodness. Nintendo actually was smart there, but still, that was just Nintendo fucking up. If they kept doing this, like let's say like how they did with Chibi Robo, it would have been horrible. Anyways, let me get back on topic. Now, this game has less content compared to any other game. Still, this is the first game, so they have to really lay out the groundwork. Now, as you can tell, I strongly dislike Game Show because it would really show a pattern about how to kill a rhythm series. Games like those which are just unfun, annoying, and just take hours upon hours to beat is annoying and stupid. But as you can tell, Nintendo was really trying to lay out the groundwork and just see how people would play rhythm games and just learn, and so you can really appreciate. It's kind of like the beta test, and I'm really happy that Nintendo really kept going on with the series, even though it didn't really sell that crazily. They still went with the series, and it's just amazing that they did. In the world of Nintendo gaming and how people think of Rhythm Heaven games in general, I just wish Nintendo can translate and port it to Switch Online or something. Like, come on. It's not that difficult to port it to Switch Online and translate it. It's really not Nintendo, okay? You're not even gonna port Mother 3. At least do Rhythm Heaven. Come on. We're desperate for new Rhythm Heaven content. Please, Nintendo, I beg. Please, I beg, Nintendo, please.
Bro, please, bro. Why are you do?
Still, Nintendo had a great idea in their hands and set a standard for Rhythm Heaven. And now for the future as a whole, let's talk about Rhythm Heaven DS. Rhythm Heaven DS released on Japan on July 31st, 2008, in North America on April 1st, 2009, and on Europe on May 1st, 2009, selling 3 million copies and is the most quirky game out of the whole series. How do I know this? Just look at the control scheme, okay? It's just different than every other game. So, let's talk about the control scheme. Now, it's a fun control scheme. I love it, and you get around it. But man, sometimes it can be painful, dude. Like, I just miss input so much. I don't know if it's me. I don't know if I have hot dog fingers or butterfingers or whatever you like calling them, but it just doesn't work sometimes. I get it, some people love it, but man, it's like, come on, I just get so much misinputs, man. Also, yes, the game is still a little bit more challenging for people like me who completely suck at Rhythm Heaven games and just rhythm games, but you know what, whatever. Warning, this is gonna be an opinionated rant about the 3DS and DS touchscreen, so don't kill me in the comments about this. Anyways, here it is. And really, the culprit of all this bullshit is just how jank the touchscreen can be sometimes. Let's say you want to press on the screen if you want to do like something fast, like, you know, a nice flick. I tried flicking, right? Why on God's green earth did it read it as a touch input? It just kills me all the fucking time. I hate it. Now, this could just be me, but still, I just want to get it out there. Anyways, Rhythm Heaven DS was, you know, a lot of people's first experience of Rhythm Heaven, you know, since this game was, you know, the first one to be, you know, in every single region. Thank God for Nintendo actually doing something smart like that. And, you know, of course, the infamous Beyonce ad, which honestly kind of got me confused. Like, I would never think that Beyonce and Rhythm Heaven would connect in some way. This established the series in a lot of people's mind and just showed a ton of new people Rhythm Heaven, and it's just beautiful, you know, and establishing on a big system like the DS, which is the most sold Nintendo system as of now, I think. I don't know. And just doing something like that is great and amazing, and I love it. But enough blabbering about how impactful the game is. Oh, let's talk about the gameplay. So, Rhythm Heaven DS took groundwork from Rhythm Tengoku, and then it just make it better. Not 2 times, not 3 times, but 4 times better. Just made it even better than you can. It's just beautiful. Mwah. I love this game. Now, my favorite minigame is definitely DJ School. It's just such a fun beat, and I can just listen to it for days. And the minigame itself is just calming yet fun, and is uniquely Rhythm Heaven sounding, if you can even make sense of that. And the vocals are just upbeat and fun, and the visuals, while nothing crazy, is nice and charming in its own right. And I love the minigames that are like Glee Club, where it's simple yet complex gameplay, with how volatile the touchscreen and just having such position of each input. Like, there's times where you could be milliseconds late, and you can only really kind of get those milliseconds late with something like a touchscreen, in my opinion. But if you get it correctly, it just shows how fun it can be, and really just proves itself for, you know, how amazing it is. So we dap too damn fucking fast, but you know what? We're gonna stop talking about the tapping thing. Just stop talking about it. I'm sorry. You know what? Nah, fuck that, okay? Why was it just like that, okay? You had buttons on the thing. I understand that you want to be quirky, but it was stupid. Like, why? Why? I don't know. listen, I get it, right? You can feel a little bit more immersion with the touchscreen. At least that's how I felt. But most of the games can just be ported back to normal controls. And this is really apparent with stuff like Heaven Studio. Speaking about Heaven Studio, it's amazing. I love it. Make games for it, do things for it. But let me get back on topic. You see, most of these games can be just played with buttons. They don't need this convoluted touch control stuff. And that's just what I think about it. I love it, but it gets annoying at times. And you know, I did enjoy the immersion details. Still, it's a little bit unnecessary in my opinion. I kind of feel bad doing a lot of ranting about the control scheme, but I love this game and what it stands for. It is a blast and one of the series' greats and mainstays in the series, which introduced many to the series, not including me sadly. I kinda started playing Rhythm Heaven Fever, but we're gonna talk about that later. Anywho, Rhythm Heaven DS is a masterclass on how to popularize a small series and just making it bigger and better and just more fun for more people. But anyways, let's talk about Rhythm Heaven Fever. It's that time. It is that time. The one, the only, Rhythm Heaven Fever. Released in Japan on July 21st, 2011, in North America on February 13th, 2012, and in Europe on July 6th, 2012, selling 842,000 copies. Nintendo, you released at the end of the console's life cycle again, you goofy fucking goober.
Look at this dude. Wait till you see the. No.
I never really had any nostalgia for the series since I played it on my Wii U in 2023. Yeah, I know, that console. Anyways, to dial back the difficulty from any other games, you know, for the casual Wii audience that actually go out to the to talk. I think that's how you say it. Talk to other people, which is kind of nerdy, but whatever. Rhythm Heaven Fever is everything that you can ask for, and it's basically amazing compared to any other Rhythm Heaven game so far. You know, since it is the first home console, they could put way more content into it. And I get it. I have a lot of bias since this is my first Rhythm Heaven game. But still, I understand that there still is criticism. And you know, my biggest criticism is that why did it take 200 days for it to go to America? Why? Why did it take that long? I understand translating games are difficult, especially under a tight budget. But 200 days, come on. But you guys are still not on excuse though, since you had the Beyonce ad for the other game. If you can get Beyonce on an ad, you can still get funding, my guy. Anyways, this game has my favorite mini games of all. And you know, let me just tell you it right now. My favorite mini game from Rhythm Heaven motherfucking Fever is, drumroll please, Ringside. Yeah, I love this game, okay? Just how quirky it is, just how fucking fun it is. Just one of the most memeable games in the whole series. It's fucking crazy, simple, fun, and yet just beautiful game. And I just love how the announcer just asks peak masculinity himself questions like,
Wubba dubba dubba, is that true?
and you know what, he just has some beautiful answers like, and you know what kills me inside? This game sold horribly. Love it. First Rhythm Heaven game. And if the DS one can do so well, why can't the Wii one do so well? I understand I laid out all the reasons, but it just hurts, man. You know what really makes me love this game so much? Just how the characters can just coexist with each other. Now I understand at the end of DS, it does show everyone being, you know, announced and the credits and just show every character. In Rhythm Heaven Fever, I just feel like they made everything more whimsical and cartoony, and I just enjoyed it a lot. Put more collectibles, put more callbacks, and it's just really beautiful. And one of the most convenient parts of the game for me was the ending cutscene. One of the most amazing video game history moments ever. They just said fork, and then when they just had a fucking fork. But moments like these just show how much fun that you can have with this series. And this is why me and so many other people are so passionate about these games. Anyways, I'm sorry for being all over the place. I just love this game so much. But can we talk about how hard it is to get superbs in some of these mini games? I swear, I was trying to do Double Date for the first time, and like, I still can't even get a superb on it. It's not like that I fuck up all the time. Double Date is pretty easy, but I feel like you can only get one wrong if you want to get a superb, which is kind of fucking stupid. because there were times where I got like 3 wrong and it would only give me an okay. I don't know if this was just me. I don't know if I'm misremembering it, but it is kind of hard to get superb in some of these games. You know, you think, oh, since it's Rhythm Heaven Fever, it should be a little bit more easier than the past 2. But nope, this game still has some difficulty to it. And you know, when you get that superb sound, it's just so beautiful. Anyways, this game is full of surprises on every single turn. Imagine this. You're walking down your local game aisle and you think, oh, some wacky first-party Nintendo game. You just get that. You go home and you start playing with it and you just get this experience. It's just something that you've never tried before. Something new that you've never seen from the gaming scene before. It just gives you that one more game mentality. One more try. Having those one more game mentalities in a game really just shows how great you made it. And every new minigame has something new that you can think about all the time. Like, why is this guy making seals flip without permission? Or why is the whole school association just trying to fuck up this date? Who's throwing balls at this guy? Or why is he so damn hot? Just why? These games always have you on your toes and just these funny occurrences. Now, I am very happy that they learned their lesson, you know, from Tengoku and didn't do anything stupid like make another game like Game Show. But still, there are some annoying games, at least for me, like 2 of them. Both of them have to deal with monkeys, which I kind of feel is a little bit mean. But honestly, I don't really care if it's mean, because sometimes when I'm playing tambourine, the monkey just looks at me like I just did some war crime by just missing 1 note.
Ooh, you doing a little rocking back and forth? Are you having... Oh, are you mentally unwell? Are you having an emotional breakdown right now? Oh, do you have the big sad?
Like, I try my hardest to do good, but he just fucking looks devastated and I just don't know how to deal with it. Or in Monkey Watch, where they just apparently don't fucking teach you how to play the game correctly. They don't actually tell you. Yes, they do give a practice tutorial, and yes, they do give you a demo. Still, it is complete bullshit though, because they didn't really teach you how to play it. Now, I just searched up on YouTube Monkey Watch tutorials because if this game wasn't gonna help me, then hopefully YouTube would. And I just found the best video title. Here it is. How to spank the Monkey Watch in Rhythm Heaven Fever. And well, I just want to tell you that just to highlight, you know, one of the most amazing video titles that I ever saw in my whole life.
10.
Anyways, here's back to what the fuck I was doing. The more you play this game, the more you don't want to say goodbye to it. And then you play the best remix, in my opinion, Remix 7. Then you play Night Walk, and then you just have depression just go over you and say, well, fuck. And then this little fuck says the game doesn't end here, and you just see a whole new row come out of thin air. And then you get to remix 8, and then you get to remix 9, and then you get to remix 10. Holy shit. Then you feel really sad. But then you realize, I'm kind of shit, so I should probably try to actually get all superbs. And then you're like, wait, I'm actually kind of good. Maybe I should try all perfects. And with the medals you got from the superbs and perfects, guess what? There's extra games, like the Clappy Trio. And all the rest of them, I don't give a shit about them. But, you know, there's still a lot of them. So, you're at it again. You're sad. 9 extra games?
Wow! Incredible!
Wait, then you realize there's a 2-player mode. Then, you know, you either pick up a second controller, you actually have a friend, which is kind of crazy in my opinion. But, you know, we won't get into that. But what I'm trying to say here is that there is so much content in this game. It is just astounding how much content they have. And the beauty of this game is just how fun it will always be, and the replayability, and just how zany and funky the whole series is. Just, if it wasn't for Rhythm Heaven, I really wouldn't have gotten interested in rhythm games in general. And this game really expanded my horizons to a whole new genre that I've never tried before, and that's why I love these games so much. In general, Rhythm Heaven Fever was the first time any Rhythm Heaven game was on a home console, and the only time since 2011, which is heartbreaking to me, but we can only hope and pray that Nintendo gods will give us a new Rhythm Heaven game. Well, Rhythm Heaven Megamix is a game that sold the second best out of all the Rhythm Heaven games, and there seems to be a common theme where if you sell a game in the console's life cycle, you can actually get good sales? Really? That's crazy! Anyways, Rhythm Heaven Megamix is, you know, the Megamix. Yo, he just said the title of the video game that we was talking about. Oh my goodness. I should subscribe to him right now. This game has the most mini games out of all Rhythm Heaven games so far. Now, in my opinion, I feel like this would have been more suited for the Wii U just because it is all of the mini games, and having them on the big screen and doing a little bit two-screen shenanigans would have been fun. And I do understand how this is Nintendo with the Wii U, so they probably would have fucked it up in one way, but still, let me dream, okay? This game has literally everything that you can ask for in a Rhythm Heaven game, except the Wii version of Nightwalk. Come on, please, I beg of you. This is just a drop in the bucket of Nintendo's missed opportunities, like, you know, letting us upload music, or letting us run melee tournaments, or, you know, charging stupid amount of prices for online when it's just a horrible experience itself, or not backstopping Sony. But you know what? It's whatever. This game is super fun and is the best portable Rhythm Heaven in my opinion. And, you know, Nintendo kind of tried shoehorning plot into this game, which I guess if you want, we could talk about that. So, you know, let's do it. Some Jimbo falls out of the sky. Actually, not from the sky, from the literal Rhythm Heaven trademark, and is like, hey, yeah, you over there, help me get to Rhythm Heaven trademark. And so you're just forced to, like, comply and help him because he's just Tibby. Like, I know this motherfucker intentionally fucked it up to keep holding us hostage, and I know there's no way that he fell from Rhythm Heaven by accident. I know this motherfucker was intentionally falling from the sky to keep us hostage. And then when he finally gets up on the tree, he falls down. And then we have to go and do more mini games to help this Tibby motherfucker, which shouldn't even be called Tibby. He's tubby, he's fat, he's annoying. And then finally, we're all powered up and ready, send him up to the sky, and then he's finally at Rhythm Heaven. Finally, we're done with this piece of shit. But nope, he is an ungrateful son of a bitch and asks us, oh, hey, yeah, you have to help us now, like you're a fucking small child. You do it yourself, Tibby. I don't want to fucking deal with you anymore.
Know your fucking place, trash.
You piece of shit. But whatever. Still, this game is a full package if I've ever seen one, except for when it isn't. Though I will say this game is jam-packed with minigames, more than any other in the Rhythm Heaven series, and it's just the most definitive version of Rhythm Heaven so far. But still, this game has a fun ton of content, and just revisiting it, and I just had an epiphany of how many fucking minigames there are. Let's look at the game before. Rhythm Heaven Fever with 55 minigames, including extras, which is nice. Great, amazing. This game, with everything included, has almost 2 times as much, 108 to be exact, which is mind-boggling. But still, this game is really fun, but honestly, there wasn't really as much charm as, you know, something like in Rhythm Heaven Fever, with everything was just so super interconnected. In Rhythm Heaven Megamix, however, I feel like everything was at its own, like, station, and just everything was so disconnected, and couldn't really care about the characters so much, you know? Like, helping out this person was just another dialogue text to skip. And I know this is me because I just skip a lot of dialogue, but still, it is annoying. But it wasn't really captivating at all, and I felt like they couldn't have innovated in a different part of the game, and you know, I really just don't really give a shit about this Tibby fella. But this game follows, you know, the same way of unlocking and advancing by just beating the levels, which is fun, great, intuitive, amazing. But I feel like for the 4th installment of the series, they could definitely improve way more. I don't feel like rhythm games really need storylines, they just need gameplay shifts. New mini games are fun, but it gets boring after a while. I tried most of the mini games, but I really did enjoy First Contact, and I thought in my head about some dumbass translator fucking up aliens messages from something nice and endearing to something way worse, like not mentioning today's sponsor. Haha, yeah, you thought. I saw you skip the video. Anyways, the gameplay being calming yet fun and enjoyable while not being a brain buster but still having challenges left away was amazing. I also enjoyed Catchy Tuna, another calming yet enjoyable game with some difficulty, and just seeing the duo look like PBS superheroes is kind of funny. You know, just catching some way over 5-second eatable requirement foods is just pretty funny, to be honest. Just especially with the pineapple and the characters just being, you know, with that little part of their hair poking out, just makes it so charming for me. And the Sumo Brothers just being so interesting, like I just can't describe it. Their movements are so hypnotizing, and me thinking about their coordination and how they just clap and stomp just got me feeling like, you know. But anyways, Lumberjack is a very odd minigame. Why are these cats looking at me that way? And why is this wolf looking for these deceptive cats? Now, I have a theory here. It's outlandish, but hear me out. I am telling you that when those cats dance at the end of the minigame, they're trying to put some hex on him, trying to sacrifice that poor old wolf. I don't know, but that's just my theory. Also, doesn't a charring chicken just remind me of a mobile game? I don't know, it just reminds me of a very early 2010s-esque mobile game. And honestly, maybe the idea could have been a mobile game. I don't really know. But anyways, you can easily sink hundreds upon hundreds of hours into this game, and it's the most expansive Rhythm Heaven game we have so far. And in general, Rhythm Heaven is just an underrated franchise. In every console that it's in, it's just amazing, and I love playing every single version of it. I just wish people knew about this series more. And they always seem to give a breath of fresh air, and it really introduced me and a ton of other people to rhythm games. And it got people familiar for a whole different side of Nintendo, a quirkier, more sillier side of Nintendo. And just it reminds me of a better part of Nintendo that me and a lot of other people miss these days. Just like seeing all these quirky and weird games, or just seeing Iwata and Reggie fight. It was just so magical to me. And you know, now just all these half-baked games like these, and just shutting down fan services and tournaments anytime they want. And we look at these directs and we just look back at what we had and what we lost from Nintendo. Now looking at it just makes me sad. We lost so much amazing things, you know, like Miyamoto coming out of stage with the fucking Master Sword and the Hylian Shield, or just so much quotable stuff like Reggie saying,
"My body is ready."
And all of these things, you know, even though they're a little bit corny and goofy, and the Wii music demo, but we don't talk about that. Even though all that, Nintendo was still goofy and charming, but now Nintendo is more serious and more restrictive and more secretive and privated, and I just don't like that. And you know, looking at the directs, we just see Reggie and Iwata fighting.
Every time.
And I just miss that. You know, you always see something weird yet fun coming out of Nintendo, but these days you don't really see that anymore. And I feel like these games are a prime example of Nintendo's wackiness and childlike spirit, having the most weird characters in the most wacky way to see the series, which is beautiful. And they show Nintendo's love for the weird, wacky, and the extraordinary, and I wish they'd make more Rhythm Heaven games. It was a dominant series in the late 2000s and early 2010s, but lost steam because Nintendo doesn't want to release a new game. And the last Rhythm Heaven game made was Rhythm Heaven Megamix, which is crazy because it doesn't feel like a 10-year-old game. It doesn't, but it is. Still, I know that this game can get good sales, and there's no reason why Nintendo should stop making these games. No one was tired of the series, no one was complaining really, and Nintendo had the resources to make these games. So it's apparent that Nintendo is lazy as shit, but still, I have so much memories of this game, like when me and my friends were playing 2-player mode, and especially Tambourine, and we always vowed that we would beat it, and when we finally did, it was just awesome. Or when I got sad when I thought that I beat Rhythm Heaven Megamix, but I didn't, and I instantly cheered up. And playing Rhythm Heaven DS and getting used to the funny yet great control scheme and absolutely raging at the ping pong game. All in all, Rhythm Heaven means so much to me, and without these games, I would have never batted an eye to rhythm games as a genre, and I would never had such fun memories. With playing 2-player mode with my friends, or trying to beat Remix 10, and for the love of God, Nintendo, release a new Rhythm Heaven game. If you don't, I will make sure that every single employee will step on Lego bricks for the rest of their life, and that's not a threat, that's a promise. And now, for the time that you've been waiting for, what are my rankings on the Rhythm Heaven games? So, here it is. So here's my ranking for Rhythm Heaven games. So I'm gonna put Rhythm Tengoku at, I'm gonna put it at C here, right? I don't wanna say F because that's really brutal, but I think that, you know, it was a good foundation for the series, but it just, you know, didn't have the most content, and just the hardware it was on was just kind of crappy for the time. I'm gonna put Rhythm Heaven Megamix at a strong A. Actually, no, I'm gonna put it at a strong B. Okay? Rhythm Heaven Megamix is fun, it's great, it has a lot of game modes, but quantity doesn't always mean quality. And I love this game, but the dialogue boxes is just so annoying. Alright, now we have Rhythm Heaven DS, you know, which basically just showed what Rhythm Heaven had to the, you know, rest of the world, and it's a great game, I love it. The touch controls and all that stuff is kind of finicky and annoying, but I'm putting it at an A. And now, Rhythm Heaven Fever, what everyone's been waiting for. That goes straight to S, dude. I know I'm a little bit biased here, but I don't care. I love Rhythm Heaven Fever so much. Oh my goodness. It was the mix of Rhythm Heaven with Rhythm Heaven Megamix and like, you know, a little bit of Rhythm Tengoku combined to just make one of the best games for the Wii that was ever created. Thank you for watching my video. You know, please like and subscribe, and you know, watch my stream on Sunday, and I'll see you guys soon. Have a good one.
Two hands meet at zenith. Nothing comes between us. Guessing like that.